And so if we as Latter-day Saints can recognize that tactic and avoid that kind of subtle device of the devil, we can call it. He stirs up groups of people against each other based on color and culture. Book of Mormon is clear on that. He manipulates some leaders to stir up people to anger and contend based on color and culture. He uses technology to do it. Let me give you an example of this. And if you'd like to turn with me, I'm in Alma. Maybe we'll use two examples. One is Alma 47. Amalickiah, who was a Zoramite by birth, Alma writes this of him. Now we will return in our record to Amalickiah. This is Alma 47, verse 1. And those who had fled with him into the wilderness. Now, I think there's a better one. There's a better one. Alma 48, verse 1, and then we'll go back. Alma 48, verse 1, and now it came to pass that as soon as Amalickiah had obtained the kingdom, he began to inspire the hearts of the Lamanites against the people of Nephi. Yea, he did appoint men to speak unto the Lamanites from their towers against the Nephites. So how do you bring that up into our high-tech world and relate that to today? It tells me, particularly as a black man, to be on the lookout for those who would stir me up to anger against other people based on race. And it should tell you the same thing. It should tell all of us that. So that without regard to our racial background, it should say, this is a pattern and a tactic that I ought to be aware of. I ought to be on the lookout for someone stirring me up for their own purposes, power, authority, whatever, against people of another ethnic or lineage background. Whatever my background is. Therefore he had accomplished his design, for he had hardened the hearts of the Lamanites and blinded their minds and stirred them up to anger insomuch against the Nephites, and he gained power over them. Another one was Zarahemnah, also a Nephite dissident. Now, as the Amalekites were of a more wicked and murderous disposition, these are Nephite dissidents, than the Lamanites were in and of themselves. Therefore, Zarahemnah appointed chief captains over the Lamanites, and they were all Amalekites and Zoramites. What a pattern. Now this he did that he might preserve their hatred towards the Nephites, that he might bring them into subjection to the accomplishment of his designs. And we won't take the time to read. There are many of these examples. Many, many. Here's one. It's sort of similar. This is now in Alma 35. Now so those were someone stirring up other people. Here's someone who's stirring up his own people against others. Now the people of the Zoramites were angry with the people of Ammon. You remember the people of Ammon were converted Lamanites. People of Zoramites were Nephite dissidents. And the chief ruler of the Zoramites, being a very wicked man, sent over unto the people of Ammon, desiring them that they should cast out of their land those who came over from them into their land. And he breathed out many threatenings against them. and stirred up his own people against the people of Ammon. So there's all sorts of stirring up on the basis of different backgrounds. We need to be aware of that. And what other people can be more aware of that and more forewarned than Latter-day Saints who embrace the Book of Mormon? He also instigates what the scriptures call devices of the devil. What are some of these? Racism is a device of the devil. Did you ever think of it in that way? Racism is a device of the devil. Racial and ethnic anger and contention. Prejudice more generally. Racial oversensitivity. Any philosophy, theory, or practice that stirs or promotes feelings of disunity, disharmony, anger, and or contention.